Hello and welcome to the Holy Hour podcast. It's the All Cure podcast, bi-weekly, coming at you. I'm Gavin and I'm joined today by Antonio. Hello, sir.
Hello, everybody. What's going on?
Yeah, we're getting psyched. It's time. It's finally time to get prepared for the big tour. It's all here, finally. It seems like this has been on the burner for quite a while now, as Cure tours tend to do, where they get you all the excitement built up for months and months and months. And by the time this episode is in your ears, we'll have the first show, I think just a mere days away. So we were going to do a little preview tour talk for you guys and hopefully get you psyched for it too. And yeah, the Cure will be touring all through Europe, doing all the big festivals. And I was just noticing, I don't think we have an official tour name yet, even though sometimes they just kind of bow it down to like 2019 festival tour. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll figure out what to hashtag or whatever. As of now, I think we'll just call it the 2026 festival tour. European festival tour might be more accurate.
Right, yeah, that is true, because it is not happening anywhere else.
It did end up, by my count, coming out to about an even 30 shows. It got a little hard to tell because they were announcing some of these festivals that are like 3-day festivals, and on some of them it looks like they're playing actually all 3 days or a couple days, and then other ones we just didn't know which day of the 3 days they're playing.
Exactly.
So, I didn't really dive into it because I'm not going to it, but I'm assuming whoever's going to that day's or festival wherever in that country, hopefully they've been able to lock it down by now. But we got a pretty good list and pretty accurate, I think, as far as which ones they are doing multiple shows at. But it looked like about 30 shows, which makes sense. It would be a nice even number. I was getting a little worried for a while there when it was like stuck at 21 or something. I was like, that's a weird number of shows.
Yeah.
Tack an extra 4 on or something. But good amount, though. So 30 shows for these guys, ranging from pretty much the start of June all the way to the end of August. So it's going to be a summer packed full of updates and set list rattlings here at the Holy Hour. We'll be taking you through it as best as we can. But yeah, starting in Spain, June 5th at the Primavera Festival. Barcelona, Spain will kick it off. And then it concludes in France on August 30th. So, yeah. And I guess, I mean, these really are the ideal way to do it if you're especially a band in the Cure shoes. I mean, you could see why that this is a fairly regular thing. And they could keep doing this probably for the rest of their career, as much as it would kill me that all they're playing are these festivals. But, I mean, when you think about it, they're playing like, most of them are like one a week, but you know, it looks like they're able to hop around where it's every at least 3 days off, 4 days off in between each show, 2 days at least, you know, so it's definitely not like as hardcore as touring around North America or something, you know, so, and you know, they're getting treated pretty good at these mega festivals.
For sure. I mean, you know, like these are like primo destinations too, you know, like Barcelona, Portugal, you know, Austria, Florence, Italy. Yeah. You know, like, I mean,
all like vacation spots.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
how convenient.
It's so rough. And, you know, their gear is definitely, you know, being driven between these on tractor trailers and stuff, but I'm sure they're flying and they're, you know, it's not probably crazy flights either, and you can spend an extra day or so. Like it's kind of nice. It's
I mean, I guess looking at the dates, a lot of them are closer together than I initially thought, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you know, 5th to the 7th, 12th to the 14th. You know, those are only a couple. So
there's
apart.
not too many where they have the whole week off in between or anything, which would almost break the rhythm a bit too much. You know, if they had to go home and chill for like 4 days, then come back, then go to Lithuania or something. So it should be pretty ideal for them. I can see why they love it, and you know, you don't have to play the full mega set too, which is, you know, he never seems to have any issues with doing that. But I think it's probably good for the for the vocal cords and just stamina of these guys, where you don't, what usually comes out at about like a 2 hour show when it's a festival versus like a 2 hour,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
two and a half,
you're
almost
also
three.
you're also talking that probably most. I would say probably all of these are outdoors, as opposed to also where the tours might be like some outdoor venues and then arenas. Like
Yeah.
so. It's definitely a little. It's a little different. Also balancing the elements, because it's not just about like rain or whatnot, but you're talking
Yeah.
humidity and just all that stuff. Like it can be a little bit more taxing as well.
Yeah, and I guess the sound could be a little harder to wrangle at these things. So
Yeah, for sure.
who knows?
I mean, there's been so many times when I'm at a festival and it's like, this band sounds great, and then like 2 seconds later, the wind shifts, and you're like, I can't hear what he's saying. All of a sudden, now he sounds great again.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'm assuming these are all big enough, or they probably got it locked down pretty good. So I think anyone should be safe. But yeah, lots of cool little details. We'll kind of do some predictions, throw some more facts out there that we've been able to gather, but not a lot going into this as far as, the way The Cure likes to be mysterious for long periods of time, or we don't really have a lot of like, it's kind of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. They've been sounding so great live on the last, full tours, and even going back to the 2019 festivals, which we'll do a lot of comparing with that. But, it's hard to start getting into the prediction side. But I mean, I guess just as far as the dry facts there, it looks like about, let's see, 6 or so are officially sold out, maybe 7. Mostly the ones that some of these are just going to be longer outdoor venue shows that they're just playing, I think. So like the Manchester and Scotland, the 3 in Berlin, and the 2 Ireland ones are more just straight up Cure shows. I think they've got a few openers that they listed there, but it's not like a full on
big to
pink
do
pop festival thing. Yeah, like a Coachella kind of thing or whatever. But so those, of course, are the ones, because Cure fans know those are the ones that you're going to want to go to. So those are all sold out. I think 2 of the 3 France ones, and at the end of July at the Festival of Nimes there. So 2 of the 3 of those are sold out. And who knows what the fuck sold out even really means now, with everybody reselling tickets so much. And yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, forget it. Yeah, it's so hard to predict now. And most venues also, and even festivals, they're selling more tickets than the capacity as well. Because there's so much drop off of people not showing up, even though they bought tickets. So, it also kind of pads those a little bit, where like, it's really about how many show up. It's just funny though, because I'm looking at festivals, like what the lineups like kind of look like.
Yeah.
And even the first one, Primavera Sound, the day that they're playing, I literally only know like 4 or 5 of these artists. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, The Cure, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Skrillex, I know personally, actually, so that's kind of funny.
Cool.
I know Sonny Viagra Boys, Rilo Kiley, Slow Dive, but everything else, I'm like, who? I'm like, is it just because it's like super like, European heavy, or am I just that out of date? Some of these are even hard to pronounce.
Like even when I look at like Coachella now, like the ones as the font gets smaller, I'm like, I have no fucking clue who all these bands are. But yeah, I'm sure there's more of that element where you're getting tons of like European bands and stuff.
Yeah, because there's definitely some like Hispanic leaning names here too in this one, where it may even be artists that don't even sing in English.
Yeah. And I remember some of them initially when I was looking at them, I don't have it marked of which, I think as it got more into like the Scandinavian sectors and stuff, like where it was definitely seemed like it had more of a vibe to some of them, where it was like harder bands,
where it leans
stuff,
like alternative.
Lots of bands to check out. So hopefully whoever's going to these shows too will actually. That's always the big hope with the festivals. You can come away with some new bands that you hadn't heard and stuff, or getting to see like a nice variety of stuff. But Of course, Cure fans, you have to hold your spot for 17 hours straight, pissing in your diaper.
Yeah. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Yeah, against the rail there. You got to lock it down for the whole day. So all your favorite bands are playing on stage 3. Too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess one of the main worries or whatever, I haven't heard too much of it now. I initially started worrying, but because I was dropping off Henson at school, and I like to be an official old man and throw my NPR on the way home, see what horrible stuff is happening in the world, at least for 15 minutes to get make sure that the world isn't ending within the next 5 hours anyway. And so yeah, one of the segments though was like, you know, just things being affected with the flight fuels and everything and prices of everything going on. But the actual segment was like, I'm here with a guy and you're telling me you're not going to be able to see the Cure this summer? Like they were specifically saying the Cure on the little segment, and his dude was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to go because of the flight prices and, you know, just too much, everything costs too much now. So, you know, who knows? Maybe this person just wanted a cop out too, but at the same time, I could totally see it, you know, and they're all talking about Europe in particular with the gas prices. And going back to what you said with the festivals selling a few with the idea that a lot of people aren't going to make it.
Yeah, it's very true.
So
well, it's funny enough that you said that, because this morning I just noticed that yesterday my buddy Jason Corbett from the band Actors just posted literally verbatim. I'm going to read it to you. I can tell you that dropping $10,000 on flights for a tour and not being a Nepo baby puts an artist at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So even the artists are feeling. So this is why ticket prices are as high as they are. This is why merchandising prices are as high as they are. Yeah, they're not Nepo babies. They're not rich kids. They're not major label like pop ponies. And they're one of the best bands I've discovered in the last 20 years. But before they even leave, they're like, damn, we're already broke and we haven't even hit the road. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's got to be impossible just with us driving around now. And the gas prices are ridiculous. Can you imagine doing that? And you show up to some shitty little venue and, you know, they're not going to fucking pay you anything anyway for most of the time. It's like you're just squeaking by as it was. And then you got that on top of it. It's, you know, flights aside, even just with the gas, it's only going to get worse. So by summer, it's going to, you know, even if the war ended today, it's still going to be affecting, especially over there, I think even more.
Yeah.
So yeah, sad. I hope you guys, not to start on a sour note here, but I hope people haven't had to cancel too, especially people traveling to these destination shows and stuff. You know, and once you get there, you're able to still pull it off, because that really fucking sucks, you know. And so yeah, fingers crossed, and hopefully everybody just kind of locked in and got their flights and shit like months ago. So that would be good. Yeah. So then you don't have to worry about whatever the hell's going on, you know, by July. So, so yeah, crossing all our fingers for you guys traveling out there for sure. And yeah, and I did want to shout out there are a couple Facebook pages, like the Billion Cure Facebook pages, that I've seen. You know, I haven't really dove too deep into them because I'm not traveling over there, but the Cure concerts and events page and the Team Cure that I believe Arusha runs or is part runner of, both those have a lot of kind of tour oriented stuff people are posting. If you're reselling you tickets and stuff, that's probably one of those two are the good ones to go to. Or it was just a lot of good information for like traveling around if you're doing multiple shows in particular and want to hop one of the trains around Europe as opposed to flying from Lithuania to Spain to wherever. So yeah, definitely check those out if you're going and need some help or want to just see if there's extra scoop out there. But, you know, with the internet, as we said, there's a lot of good resources these days. You're not just going there with your MapQuest maps and stuff.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine how the hell people did this back in the old days. And, you know, at times I did my version of it even, and it still like blows my mind. I was like, how did people get anywhere? It's
I
like,
know.
without
So
GPS and shit. It's like, good God. But so yeah, check those out if you're in need or curious. So good Facebook pages. I'll try to put the links for those in
Yeah.
this episode too. And yeah,
Oh, look at that. And the Cure even
what's
has their good friends, the Twilight Sad, on the Italy festival. And
yeah, they're
Fire
playing a
Ends.
couple there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to see them. That would have been extra weird. I'd be worried if they weren't at least playing something with them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh no, they had
It's
a
like
fight.
the universe is off kilter.
Yeah. So yeah, I think a lot of the ones where they're playing more of a Cure specific show with bands, it's a lot of the usual suspects. I think Mogwai is on like the Edinburgh one and such. So I forget who is where, but I think they're all kind of sprinkled through there, Slow Dive and stuff. So very cool. So yeah, what to expect? Let's see. A lot of comparisons to the 2019 because a lot of these are the same festivals. Even looking back at those, it was just these kind of solid European festivals that have been going on for years. We all have bootlegs from a lot of these, even just from the best parts, which will be another highlight of the podcast here as we cover this, is me mispronouncing the names of these cities that they're going to.
I know.
Hopefully providing much comic relief for that, but I'll try to just stick to the words I could read. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool reoccurring, like the Pink Pop ones and stuff. They played a bunch of times, and so I guess with that in mind, in 2019 then, so as we start examining, they played about 24 to 27 song sets. I think they were closer to 30-ish on the tour, so really not that much of a cut short set, as you worry with seeing the Cure at a festival versus, I think they've got enough pull now where they just give them their solid 3 hours at the end of the festival there, and they can play into the night or whatever. But it does get cut a bit shorter, so probably expect something like that as opposed to the 2023 shows. But yeah, I guess as far as going into the shows too, do you think they'll do the local artists doing it? I mean, probably not for this because the festivals probably have their own
I was gonna say
it
probably is. Yeah, something like that. It's gonna probably be festival merch. Funny enough, I just had this conversation with some marketing people on like a music festival that I'm working on here in Long Island, and they were saying, we were talking about like kind of like how all of that works, and they were saying like they're noticing now in festivals, so like you'll have different the merch sections, right? So here's the bands, right? And he's like, and the lines are short for the band merch. He goes, but then you look over to the festival merch and the lines are like 1,000 people deep, and he's like, there's this trend now in the popularity of merch for buying the festival driven merch with all the bands listed on the back and the dates, because now it's like, I guess it's like a timestamp. It's like, I get it. Like we don't get physical tickets anymore, right? Like you used to save those ticket stubs. So I guess like that's kind of maybe becoming the new thing to collect to say I was there,
I mean, it is cool if you happen to. There's too many chances usually, like any ones like with the Coachella one or the Austin City Limits, where you get this kind of mediocre looking shirt, but it is cool because it has all the band names on it.
Yeah.
And even now, occasionally I'll put the shirt on it. I glance at it and I'm like, oh, they played that weekend? Shit, I missed them. I didn't even know they were.
I was on the other side of the festival grounds.
So yeah, that makes sense. But I guess, that just reminded me that they did still have specific band merch. So I wonder if the Cure will at least make one. I'm sure they'll make at least some kind of original shirt. It'll probably be like just a specific one for the whole tour, not like each city gets a cool one like their specific tour.
I feel like that's probably the best bet, because you're talking like you've got one day to sell those specific ones, right? So instead of like, all right, we've got all summer, these will be the designs we're selling. If anything, maybe like you said, it is a poster that's slightly different. But again, there might be stipulations on those kind of things by the festival if they're making a festival one. But
Right.
I mean, the Cure, I feel like, they're definitely not afraid to, you know, fight the system. So they may
Yeah.
be like, well, if we can't make our own poster, then we just won't play. And they're like,
Right.
no, we're sorry.
Yeah, I think they
Because
got
so
enough
far,
pull where
every
they
one
can
of
do
these
whatever they want. But
yeah, so far,
it's
every one of these I've looked up, they're the headlining band of the day they're
yeah,
playing.
yeah, for sure. I think
I
all of
don't think
them.
they're really opening for much of anyone at this point.
So yeah, it'll be cool, and whoever goes to these first few ones, definitely take some pictures. I'm sure everybody will blow up the Facebook with whatever. But if you don't see it on there, this is my call to arms here.
Yeah.
I want to see what the shirts look like. So yeah, it would be cool because I mean, it's cooler when it's like a whole bunch of European shows that I'm not going to any of them. I'd even be more inclined to ordering one if they sell it on their bench, or if it looks really cool, as opposed to like them just playing in Cincinnati and I didn't go because we were going to New York.
Right, yeah,
It's a little
yeah.
more like that's kind of weird. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the one I actually went to.
Yeah,
But
if it's because sometimes some of the coolest like um old, like vintage merch are those like festival-y ones, and
yeah,
and it's like, yeah, I wasn't there, but at this cool festival in Germany, but look at this epic lineup and look how cool the
yeah.
graphic is, and
Yeah, and there's just that never ending heavier weights with the Cure of that everything could be the last, so you don't know if this batch, who the hell knows what happens intentionally or not after this, it could be their last batch of shows, we've been saying that since 1987, I think.
yeah.
But you never know.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Just a good rule for life
anytime,
in general.
pretty much anytime there was a band member change, or especially if there were more than 4 years in between records, or
Yeah, exactly.
no,
Who the fuck knows, It's like, they could just forget to play more shows after this, and it just doesn't happen for 10 more years or something. You never know. So,
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it could be cool, but fascinating to see what comes out on the merch angle. I guess as far as other surprises, oh, what could you? That's what I was saying. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, what would even be? We'll stick to pleasant surprises since, obviously there's room for disasters. But what would you even, what could be a big surprise for the band at this point when they come out? They hit it pretty much on the head with Perry last time, even though they were super chill about it, didn't even make a big deal out of like bringing him back. It was like,
yeah.
holy shit, and like,
it just it kind of appeared before us.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't even know what they could do that would be like a holy shit, where everybody's just like, I mean, I guess, I don't really see them bringing somebody back again. That just seemed to be like a cool thing that happened naturally. They're not going to be like, we need to fill that sixth person slot. What's Lowell doing? I don't see that happening.
We've watched them go from like 3-piece to 4-piece to 5-piece to 4-piece.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's.
They could do it as a 3-piece if they had to, but yeah, I guess that would be a big shocker if just one of them wasn't there at this point. But at the same time, yeah, I don't see I haven't heard any announcements. Not that they would announce that probably, but a member, some kind of lineup change, maybe a new look for Robert. Maybe he'll come out. He's
short hair, no lipstick.
Yeah, so he just comes out with his like everyone's like, "Wow!" So I mean, something like that, I guess, could be a big bombshell.
All of a sudden, he's on Ozempic and he weighs like 165 and he's ripped, and we're like, "What?
Whoa!" Like 20 years younger. Luscious head of hair.
By the way, Ozempic, if you would like to sponsor the
we would love some free samples would be great. He's been hanging out with Olivia Rodrigo a lot. Maybe he's gonna be wearing like a baby doll dress or something.
Yeah,
like
it could
that.
be. Yeah, I mean, maybe maybe
Scoopy.
instead of hockey jerseys, it's basketball jerseys. Who
knows? Changing it up. But yeah, I can't really think of any big surprises other than our next real topic, which would be now we get to ponder the set list and all that fun stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Where do they go with this? And I guess a lot of questions would just be how similar do they stick to what they did in 2019, where it was, festival crowd. It's generally going to be a little poppier, you know, like a little more, you know, it's going to be more of the hits probably sprinkled in, as opposed to like more the epic journey that the shows of a Lost World were.
Right. Yeah.
So probably safe to go there, but they are the fucking Cure after all. They could just do whatever they want. You know? So I don't think anyone's really going to complain. So it could be kind of a short version. I guess that's a good place to start. How Songs of a Lost World heavy do you think it'll be? Or are they going to totally just wipe that? Because it's not a very festival-y.
What I think may be interesting about that is it's now an album that has won them 2 Grammys.
Yeah.
Right. You know, so right. I feel like at minimum, they've got to play 2 songs off that record.
Right.
Yeah, at minimum.
I'd say like Fragile Thing is going to be definitely in there, I think, because it's just a little more poppin'. And you know, hopefully they'll do like, you know, some of the ones like Drone No Drone and stuff that they didn't play on the tour. You know, that would be cool if they kind of dig those up.
Yeah, because I mean they did technically like learn it to. I mean they can play it live because they played it live on the
So I don't know how stressful it was to learn it or what, you know, but because it is a little odd that the ones that they consistently played on that tour were the mega bummer ones. You know? Yeah, but at the same time too, like you're saying, it's such an epic album now, it almost seems weird if they didn't open with Alone or something or end with End Song, you know, even though it's going to eat up a whole chunk of their
I was just going to say Alone could be like a really amazing opening track, especially at a festival. The sun, you know, has the sun gone down yet? Is it still just peaking? You know what I mean? Like, just have that music start, you know, like, and you know, like Robert can come out a little bit later than everybody else. And then everyone will be like goosebumpy and like, yay. And then they just switch over and fucking boom, hit you with like something, you know, like, so.
Yeah, there's room for that still. You know, all their openers are kind of like that. They never really come out with like Just Like Heaven or something, you know. It would have to be like Plain Song or at best like Want or something, you know. But it's
exactly. And I mean, and then I'm curious, you know, do they bust out like some Wild Mood Swings?
Yeah, I know. That would be a cool time, you know what I mean?
Like,
that, so.
I feel like that is festival vibey, like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if I just associate it with they played a lot of festivals at the end of that too, you know, but yeah, it seems like that would be a great time to throw in even like a Jupiter Crash or something that's a little more mellow or something. Yeah. So hopefully, but yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, do you think there's any chance of new songs?
You know,
since that new album's clearly done already, just sitting on the shelf waiting to come out.
You know, it's like I want to say yes, but because I feel like a lot of people would say that the possibility is huge, I feel like because of that it won't.
Yeah, like, I know.
You know, like
I guess the safe answer could be probably no. If they did do it, it would be at one of the more Cure-centric shows, like in Ireland, right. You know, so it'd be at one of those. But the odds are good, like you're saying, because one, they've done that in the past. Like before Wild Mood Swings came out, they did play, I think, Want and Mint Car. So it's happened, you know, and now that's no big thing because they did that for all of Songs of the Lost World, you know, so it's not that big of a deal. And they hopefully saw how apeshit everybody went. Even if we don't know the song, we want to see the new shit, you know. And this next record is supposed to be poppier, you know?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean,
so you do poppier on the festivals, yeah.
There's got to be one that he's just itching to play, you know?
Yeah, like, is this another situation? Should I look up and see what the odds are on Kalshi?
Yeah, maybe. You can gamble on it and get a couple bucks there. So.
Yeah, and it worked for me on the Grammy Awards.
So yeah, that'd be pretty good. I would definitely bet on one of those, the Manchester one or something like that, if you have to say specifics. But yeah, that would be cool. I really hope they do throw out at least one, and knowing them, they'll do it at like one of the shows, but then like none of the others. So it'll be like a totally, if you were there, you lucked out, but nowhere else. So yeah, pretty cool. again, I guess as far as just daydreaming, then do you have any? I guess we could do a realistic deep cut of stuff to bring back. Like, is there something, keeping in mind the festival? A realistic one would be, like not like, something that's still poppy, but just they haven't played in a long time or ever. Do you have any specific requests?
Requests of songs I want them to
like
play.
A realistic and a not realistic one. Yeah, I guess would be like your dream scenario. What do you think?
I guess I would have to Halo.
Yeah, I think like those golden B-sides would be a cool.
Yeah, like those really
especially those
like
poppy
beloved
ones.
like because it's like Halo is like beautiful and like sway poppy. You know what I mean? It's not like dance poppy, but it has that, definitely has that element to it. Or like hearing like some of the rarer stuff from like 17 Seconds that they don't play a lot would be really cool to hear,
Yeah, even just something like M or something thrown in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like not absurdly rare, but at the same time, that would be cool if they just bring a few of those out. Because I guess that was the big, takeaway from 2019 was just when Kiss, was like the fucking clear highlight of everyone's like, oh shit, I gotta see that, and then it was never played again after that batch of songs. So I mean, it would be cool if they dug up like something like that. I can't remember. I guess there wasn't any real anniversary reason or anything for that, but glad they did it. But yeah, that would be great if they just bring out a couple. I'm sure they'll change up something from the 2023 ones where we get, even just a few of the old classics that they laid off of a bit,
Right.
So that'll be cool just to see. I guess my dream ones would be in the same boat, like Exploding Boy or that,
Yeah, I was going to say Exploding Boy.
Unrealistic one would be like A Few Hours After This is always my dream one. If they would do that, that would be great. But I can't really see them busting it out of the festival or like you said with the Wild Mood Swings ones, like Treasure or something. That might be cool. Thinking maybe that or Trust for Perry would be kind of sweet, even though the festival might not be the best place to get sad for that, but at the same time it would be kind of cool if they threw a little nod to him.
Maybe one of the Cure specific shows that's not a festival.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like there needs to be something.
Yeah,
and I don't know how or what. Even something silent, like like could you imagine like just having like his amp and one of his guitars on a stand just off to the side. You know what I mean? Like it would be like such a like, oh man.
I mean, even if they do just play Trust, I think all Cure fans would kind of know that that's what, for sure. That would be cool. Even if they just did it at like the first show or something, I think that would be pretty sweet.
Just like, cause now it's the first time they've played live since his passing. So
yeah, it's definitely. And, so yeah, that would be cool. I hope there's some little nod there. And I guess the main question, if we're comparing to 2019's, is that for the first time, maybe really, that they ever stuck to the same set list. Remember, they played like the first few shows. I think there was a few little variations throughout the summer, but like for the most part, it was like 96% the exact same set list every festival. Which was
I wonder if
it was really weird. They never did that. I wonder if I'm sure it'll be a different set list, of course, but like I wonder if that was something that worked really well for them, and they're like, for festivals, this is the way to go, because it does eliminate a lot of the risk factors and shit as far as the sound and the lighting things and shit, and everything's just kind of dialed into those specific songs. Their sound dude,
if everything like, every night
boom,
is like
Fascination Street,
rinse, repeat. Yeah.
They got all the fucking digital knobs now that you just hit Fascination Street and it goes and it all goes into place no matter where you're playing and shit.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't really blame them if they do that, but I hope for the sake of the people that are taking fucking 20 trains all around Europe and whatever, I hope they do change it up, at least the encores or something a little, so. And it makes it more fun when all I'm doing is rattling off what they played on the set list. If it's the same one, it's going to get a little, episode's going to be real short. So I hope they give us more to talk about, but totally wouldn't blame them if they do. I wonder how much of that was them feeling like they cracked the formula too for like, this is the perfect kind of set list for festivals, like where if he really felt like they nailed it after all these years, it was like, yes, you start here, you bring it down a little bit there and don't fucking change from that at all. But he used, he's been on many interviews saying how it would drive him crazy if he had to play the same set list every night. But that was like the first time. And even the Songs of the Lost World one, we were able to kind of crack the code pretty quick on that, where it was same 4 songs, then they would rotate the 5th song, then the 7th song, they would, it was like definitely little spots where he would change it up, but at the same time it was, 75% the same set every day, kind of. So
yeah, I think I'm trying to remember what the other show was. I know Mike from House of Harm said, I think he's going to Berlin.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's hitting any other ones. Because then right after that they're in Greece.
Yeah.
Like, a few days later if they're playing the 3rd day on that festival.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I hope people get some good variety. I think too that's probably the best bet. Probably too late if anybody wants to take this approach, and you all know this would be to. If you could hit up multiple shows, do the ones, of course, the ones where it's more Cure, straight up show, and then a festival too, like that'll probably be the biggest difference in set list or anything that they do will be whether it's, them playing Pink Pop versus in, Berlin, so that's probably the better way to go. So hopefully people are taking strategies with that and not just going straight from one to the other, even though it might be the easier travel paths. So yeah, very cool. Lots of possibilities and no way to know with the Cure. I think that's part of the charm of why people do get so excited and want to go to every show if they can and stuff is because who the fuck knows, they could play a totally wackaday set that has like round and round and round and shit in it. And who knows? But I think prediction Kalshi wise, it is probably safe to stick fairly close to what they did in 2019 with a few little surprises sprinkled in set list wise. It did look like, and this will be something that explodes the day of or whatever, but I think the first festival in Barcelona, from what I was able to gather, it starts the day before. They headline the 2nd day, and then there's a 3rd day. And it looks like since Amazon or something's part of the Primavera big sponsor or something, I saw people saying that it will have a streaming for that one. So keep your eyes peeled. If you don't see the links flying around everywhere and you find one, send me one. It'll probably be around like 3 p.m. ish, I'm guessing, on a Friday. So right in the middle of everybody's work day, of course. But you could just pretend you're going to the bathroom for a few hours and sit in the stall and watch the. But it sounds like it'll be on Amazon Prime, maybe, or their music app or Twitch. Like, I guess Amazon has like a Twitch account or something. But they're saying they're going to stream the festival, so I don't know if that means the whole thing, just the Cure, or what. So just keep your eyes peeled, like these things. Sure, people will be doing their Instagram, like just holding the phone for 3 hours, which is cool for the first 6 or so. But who knows? I'll still probably be glued to it and get yelled at by my family to put the fucking phone down. And I turn into sports dad during these things where I'm just like hanging out at dinner, like peeking over the table at the phone under there and watching the updating setlist.fm. That's going to be the most efficient way to know in real time which songs are getting played. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. If you find a link before it's everywhere, definitely send it out or post it on something, because that'd be great to catch. I'm assuming a few of these. Last time there was a bunch that streamed where you could watch the whole thing.
I mean, technology allows you to have even more FOMO.
Yeah,
Because you
exactly.
can watch it every time and be like, damn it.
Totally.
That
Yeah,
sounds so
exactly.
cool.
Oh man. But yeah, it'd be great to catch a couple of them for sure. And like I said, they're just gonna be at weird hours is the bigger hang up. I'm sure it's all these Amazon ones too. It's gonna be some like sports package bullshit where you have to subscribe to something, the fifth version of the subscription that you don't have that allows you to whatever. I'm like, what? How? Amazon Prime? I'm already. Why can't I watch it?
How much more Prime can I get?
You're not the super exclusive gold card Prime member that you have to pay another $20 a month. So I'm sure there'll be some kind of bullshit like that. But hopefully we get a couple of them. Yeah, we were able to watch like the Fiji one and shit last time. So that was a lot of cool ones. And then they hopefully get carried over to YouTube. So even if you miss it, you can watch it on the replay or something. But
here's a little music trivia for everyone.
Uh,
Who's the first artist to live stream a live show all over the world?
Whoa. I'm going with Elvis.
Yep. Aloha from Hawaii was the first time. Yeah. It was like
technology, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like to be beamed in everywhere at once was the first time it had ever been done in music.
Crazy. Do you know the year off the top of your head? Must have been
Aloha from Hawaii, I believe, was 74 or 6. I think 4.
Yeah, sounds about right.
73. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he was getting there, but he still had it for that one. That was a good show.
Yeah, I mean, that was
watching that as a kid.
He hadn't ballooned up as.
I think a few. I'm gonna split my pants jokes during.
Yeah.
Hope my pants don't rip up, baby.
I've got it on DVD and vinyl.
So I got that CD.
That's Elvis Presley, by the way, not Costello.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Sorry, guys.
It's not the first. Awesome. Yeah, good trivia there. So, yeah, hopefully they got it down so easy now, since all these fucking Starlink and shit. You should be able to zip those things anywhere. So,
the Cure live from the moon.
Yeah, finally, his dreams come true. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess as far as our coverage, I'm not sure exactly. I always have to play this by ear. So I don't know if I'm going to try to stockpile show notes and then just still do every bi-weekly and then get as many shows that got covered in that period. Or maybe I'll get excited and just record something real quick and keep throwing them out. So we'll have to just play it by ear. It might turn into a bi-weekly, as in twice a week you're getting something in the feed here. Or I'll just make it count with a good long episode. Because like I said, won't be too hard or too easy to cover too much. I'm really going to just make notes of what set list choices were made and whatever anyone reports or whatever phone videos pop up. So, of course, on top of that, the call to arms, like we said, if you want to record your voice message, if you went to a show and just need to vent of how cool it was, immediately record a message, send it to me. I'll include it in that episode. Or if you don't want to talk, you can type it out, send me an email. The sooner, the better after the show. There's going to be the delay, obviously, because I can't tell the future or to live stream from the, but so it'll be a little bit of a delay, but it'll be a lot cooler if I'm not talking about it. One of the shows that happened, at the beginning of June when it's August. So try to get it to me as soon as possible, but it'll be greatly appreciated and documented for all of eternity or until Spotify cancels the episode or whatever. But send it my way. And, and if you do really have a cool recording or an email, something you want to share from the festival. Last time I did it where if I was moving ahead onto the next country or whatever, each little portion I can do a little flashback, like remember Barcelona. So, and then I'll plug in your segment. So yeah, help us out. It'll be more fun if you guys out there that are actually at the shows can be, give testimonials of it. Unfortunately, because it's moving real fast, I probably won't be able to do too many long conversations with you. Maybe we can get a few of those if you really want to go on and on about it. I'm happy to have you on the show, but it'll be a little harder to get you in on real time with that. So, yeah, so keep that all in mind. It'll be fun. Like I said, just to document these. Those would be the ones I've listened back to if for some other reason I'm on my deathbed and the podcast is long gone and I want to revisit ones. It would be fun to just re-listen to the whole tours and how these unfold, and you can hear the excitement in our voices and stuff from the first time they played that new song or some oldie that we thought we would never hear live. So yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Hopefully people be down with that. And yeah, what do you think, Antonio? Is this going to be one for the record books, or is this just going to be a crank out the hits? How excited are you for shows you're not going to?
I'm depressed is what I am.
Is the depression kicked in, or are you kind of fine with the decision to not have to fly?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I wish I could have, like, I got laid off in December. So when a lot of these were getting announced, like financially, I was like, like it's not a good idea if I try to lock into anything. But then as I look at these, it's also some cities that I want to visit. Yeah. Like I would love to go to Athens, Greece. Like, I'd love to go to Belfast, and like, there's so many great cities. And I'm like, I'd love
like
to
we're
do
saying,
it.
they're all vacation destinations.
Florence, Italy.
So
like imagine,
cool.
the Netherlands. Like, come on. Like, can't go wrong here. And then even just try to see them in Manchester, like, would be insane.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's the tricky part. Like when all these were getting announced, I think we talked about it, even with like, it'd be so tempting to like, if you're seeing them in Dublin, be like, oh man, Belfast, like fucking 2 days later, but at the same time,
exactly. You're not going to not, but then you look at the expense
you're in
of
Ireland and shit, you're like, I kind of want to see these places too. I'm assuming unless you live there, these aren't really the kind of places for here to the U.S. anyway, that you're like, oh well, I'm in Athens, fuck it, let's just see The Cure and fly home the next day.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you're gonna want to spend
God,
2 weeks there or something.
In Greece, and you're like, The Cure,
and
the inside of my hotel.
I mean, it almost feels like if you're going to these places, seeing The Cure would just be the icing on the cake. Really, you're spending
exactly
week in these great.
Well,
cities,
I mean that's the way you got to do it. You got to fly in 4 days early, be a tourist, see The Cure, get your mind blown, and then get on a plane and go home.
Yeah, totally.
But like you said, right now flight prices are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that is really what's probably going to make these festival runs, mainly people within Europe going, because the train prices aren't as bad, or you could road trip it. I mean, we put a lot of miles in 2019, driving. So it's, with the way that flight prices are now, even if they were playing 14 hours from here and it was the only US show, I would do that drive.
Yeah.
Without even thinking about it. Okay. Yeah. Because the gases and the tolls are still cheaper than the flights.
For now.
Yeah. For now.
But, yeah, I mean, a lot of factors for sure. So I mean, it's hard to say.
And that's the thing too. Like, I mean, I guess are prices internally in Europe expensive? Like, so like if I'm flying from like France to Greece, is that cheaper than like, New York to Florida?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the kind of
things
stuff
saying that with all the fucking shortages, though, at a certain point they're going to be canceling flights and stuff too. I don't know if that's happened there yet, but like, just because
but I feel like I feel like Europe has their shit together a lot more than we do these days. So
yeah,
like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, they might,
but our shit that we're causing here is influencing them. So
yes, very,
it's
very true.
Yeah, so I mean that's the really frustrating part, that this isn't fucking COVID or something that nobody had any control over. This was all, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get too political.
Yeah.
This was all your own making, sir. So thanks. Great for fucking up the entire global economy. So great job. Keep making it great. So yes. It's,
even like Wales,
I mean, that's all like, these places.
Cool.
I guess you're rattling off a few there. That was one of my questions I didn't ask. Was an ultimate dream. The Cure says, you know what? I love your work on the podcast, Antonio. Come join us in blank. What would be the ultimate free ticket to go? VIP Platinum Pass. You don't even have to stand in the field for 17 hours.
I'd have to go with Florence, Italy.
Yeah.
As much as I definitely want to see a lot of these places, it's either Florence or Athens.
Yeah.
So either way, I'm like, get me over near the Mediterranean, I guess.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, that's tough.
Especially in the summer, outdoors, drinking
Barcelona
wine.
would be great. Yeah, I know.
Barcelona.
I was like, I've never been. Casey's been to Spain, and I'm still jealous. But that'd be awesome.
Been to Spain, but I kind of like the music.
And I have been to Paris, but what's that? Yeah, probably. And I have been to Paris, but that would be a fucking awesome one because it's the last show.
Yeah, that is true.
Outside of Paris, there, I'm assuming it's Saint Cloud / Paris. So it's probably like on the outskirts there, and don't know the geography.
I mean, Robert is going to. He's going to basically hang glide from the Eiffel Tower to the stage.
To the next one. Yeah.
And that's going to be a big entrance.
There's your big
cure. And they're going to play Burn, and he's going to come in
looking like in the high
like a crow.
Yeah. A crow kite. Wow. Shit, yeah, we thought they didn't have any surprises left in them, man.
Come on, any of you guys good with AI? Someone needs to make that video and send it to us.
It's like, all right, we'll use a few buckets of water for that. That's worth it. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I like the idea that we don't really fucking know, that's a great part of the Cure, that could be, and it's always a win-win. So if everybody does fly out there, it blows every cent that they've saved up and are in the credit card debt for the next 5 years, even if they showed up and they play fucking galore start to finish, it's going to be an amazing show. So, I mean, you always win with the Cure show, even if they don't dig out some fucking dread song or something so crazy right. Like even if they just play the singles and the hits, you're gonna win out, so I mean it's pretty cool. So, and they're gonna sound good at this point. They've proven that even if he loses half a step since the last time we saw him, he's still about 20 steps ahead of anyone else.
And most of the people will probably be insanely drunk by the time they play because they will have been at that festival all day long. They're like, it was great. I don't even remember what songs they played, but they were great.
Yeah. And even Robert keeps it together these days, There's definitely, just because it's festival related, I always love revisiting those 96 festivals. There's a couple of the ones in full, like the Bazaar Festival, which turned out to be pretty bizarre, and the Lyon one where Robert was just fucking schnockered in 96.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine him like hammered in Bordeaux, France, just with a vintage 86 Bordeaux bottle with
orange surprised juice. There isn't more of those, really. The fact that's why I always wondered if God knows what else he was on or something, if he's fucking up the lyrics that bad and stuff, he's a professional, man. But it's like, even then it still sounded good. He was just singing like completely different words to like in between days and shit. It's like those should be pretty locked in, Robert. I can see you kind of rambling through Disintegration or something, but like, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
And he's just all like sweaty, wearing a hockey jersey, sitting down on the stage.
Like, what am I doing with myself?
It's like, what the fuck is going on?
He's like, I don't even like hockey.
Yeah, I still want to do an episode of the drunkest Cure shows ever, but I'm not really sure how to do it where it doesn't sound like I'm making fun of them. It's like, no, I'd still admire you for being able to play fucking 2 hours and like nailing these songs for the most part. But,
yeah, for real.
But yeah, I guess not too much more to drag it out on then. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what's on the horizon and dive into these set lists and what happens from country to country there. So I guess on that note, we can kind of make this a shorter one for us as well. So unless you had any final thoughts, Antonio?
No, aside from Hey Cure, we wouldn't mind a new record, and we wouldn't mind some shows over on the side of the pond.
Yeah, so yeah, if you can make it over here, gas is real good too.
Listen, if to save on your expenses, you guys are more than welcome to stay at my house.
Yeah, the band, right? Not everybody listening.
Yeah, not everyone listening. The band. Okay.
Yeah, we can put the band up. It'll be good.
Yeah.
They're two city. They're playing Long Island and Asheville. Those are the only 2 dates.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll throw in one for Philly for Chaz too. So that'll be good. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I guess our final thought will just be that if you are lucky enough to make this happen and you're going out there, or if you live there and you're making this happen, have a blast. Be safe. Can't wait to hear all about it. We'll be watching from far, so be sure to share any of those streaming links or any scoop you come across while it's happening.
Yeah, and even if you just see cool stuff on social media, tag us, in the comments to, any posts you're seeing around that are cool that we can check out. Let's just all.
Cure fans are pretty good about when something breaks. It's everywhere on the Facebook pages and stuff, but at the same time, you never really know. Sometimes those things slip through the cracks, especially when it's rapid fire shows like this. So if you get a cool video clip or something unusual, definitely let us know. So we'll appreciate it and love to have you be a part of this whole little journey. So let's see what happens. June 5th is the big day. Barcelona. Like I said, if you're here in the U.S., I looked it up. What is it, like 5 hours difference? Got it saved on my world clock. Right. Yeah. Barcelona is 6 hours ahead of Eastern time. So,
okay, 6 hours.
So yeah, if they're playing around 9, I guess would be a headliner. Right, probably later than that, even really. It's probably 10 or something. So yeah, they might be right around 4 or 5.
Yeah, maybe like 9:30 and ending at 11 if they're gonna do an hour and a half. Something like that.
So yeah, we'll keep an eye on for that streaming link, and can't wait to see what happens. So thank you so much for walking through this with me, Antonio.
Absolutely, anytime, baby.
And you guys out there, be safe and have fun and talk hard.
Later.
Before you hop on your plane to Europe, be sure to like and subscribe to the Holy Hour podcast. Leave one of those fancy reviews for us if you would be so kind. And check out our Patreon at patreon.com/the Holy Hour podcast and join the likes of Craig and Jeff Hilton, Amber, Allison, Jeff Cortland Jones, Donna, Sue, John Forrester, Dion, Namicio, Matt Ford, Letty, John Roberts, Colin, Tony, Ben, Danny Coulter, Tom Johnson, Francisco, Arno, Chip, Nicholas, Shirley, Mara, Caroline, Brian, Sean, Jennifer, Craig Hogan, Pete Roberts, Nicole, and John Richter, and our newest members. Well, Tom Burns, our newest former member. So welcome back, Tom. And you might remember Tom from episode 217. So great to have you back, and thanks for the extra support, man. And I'm super thrilled to welcome my dear friend Paula to the list now. And as you guys have probably detected over all these episodes, that I have a huge love for everything the wonderful country of Australia has given us, and this super fandom is just about 100% credited to Paula and her amazing husband Sean, two of the sweetest and coolest humans you could ever meet, let alone be lucky enough to call your dear friends. So yeah, if you happen to have made it through that episode of Fuzzy Memory Radio, that's an exclusive side show that I've made a couple episodes for only on the Patreon account, in which I tell a story about causing some trouble out at Joshua Tree Inn in 2004, and with these lovely Australians out there. So go check it out if you're a Patreon member and haven't, and super appreciative to have you on board, Paula. Thank you so much, and welcome back, Tom. I'm even more inspired now to step it up and do a good job covering the upcoming tour dates, and I won't let you down, and I'll try not to let these people down either. Kate, you know Kate out there, Kate over at CureThreads.com, where she has tons of original Cure-inspired designs on a wide range of products, and quality products at that. And you can also follow Cure Arts Collab on Instagram. That's where Kate provides a home base for all amazing Cure artwork created by Cure fans like you. And I believe Kate's going to at least one of the Ireland shows there. So have a blast for us, Kate, and can't wait to hear how it all goes. Scott Kurger is co-host of the Sarlacc Digest, the best Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. Catch their live stream every Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube and Facebook. I'm sure they're still glowing from the Mando and Grogu movie. Highly recommended as well, but go get the professional's opinion over at the Sarlacc Digest. And I believe Scott is staying put for this tour. Not going to Europe to see The Cure, and since I couldn't quite swing Europe or Australia this year, we're going to be slumming it and try to just go out to California. So yeah, we're going to try to cross paths with Scott and hang out. That would be great, and to see the legend in person and hopefully nerd it up with him at the galaxy's edge. It's the next best thing to seeing The Cure, right? The Millennium Falcon. That's what everyone says. David also is on the West Coast, I believe, and runs the Obsessive Geek on Etsy. It's a great spot you can go for Cure-related shopping. You can get these awesome 3D printed recreations of Cure album covers that he's done. Boys Don't Cry keychains, Fascination street signs that you can put up behind your Funkos or wherever you want. And they're all high quality, affordable products as well. So visit the Obsessive Geek on Etsy. Dana is a freelance animation, illustration, and motion graphics designer, and currently welcoming new projects and commissions. So check out her work at graphics.tv. That's graphics with an X.tv, and drop her a line. And Dana may also be headed off to Europe this summer. I believe I caught something saying she was going to go check out a show, at least one show, but maybe even more. So keep us posted on your adventures, Dana, and scream extra loud for us. Tanya is definitely headed to France, last I heard anyway. 2 nights in Nimes, I believe. Super happy for her, and can't wait to hear how that all goes. Bound to be a dream come true in France, seeing The Cure. And as always, she would love to spread awareness of 988lifeline.org, the suicide and crisis hotline with over 200 crisis call centers located all over the U.S., available 24/7, offering free and confidential support for people in distress with numerous prevention and crisis resources. So if you or anyone you know, or anyone who's not going to get to see The Cure in Europe this summer and need help, please don't hesitate to reach out to 988lifeline.org. Lisa recommends you visit Dickens, the coolest venue in Calgary, Canada, at dickensyyc.com. You can check out their site for all the upcoming events and shows. And of course, our dear buddy Chaz's other podcast, James Dobson's Bastard Kids, where each week he and Chrissy take a deep dive into the evangelical church. Chaz will be Euro free this summer too, so hopefully we'll have him back over here with us soon to catch up and summarize some of these upcoming summer festival shows. We love you, Chaz, and we love you guys out there. Thank you so much for listening. We'll leave you there for now. 4 days after this comes out, that we'll have to wait, and then we'll get our first Cure show in about a year and a half. So fingers crossed for that streaming link, and safe travels to all you lucky ones out there. Have a blast, be safe, talk soon, and talk hard.